What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldstein here. In this video, I want to share with you how to tell if a phone is fake. I've had 3 different people try to sell me fake phones. I was able to catch them, and I'm going to share with you what to look for. Some phones are better than others. I'm going to share with you what to look for, though, when buying to make sure you don't buy fake phones. If you start buying a lot of phones, which you should, every now and then you will run into someone selling you a fake phone. The last thing you want to do is blow. The last phone someone tried to sell me was a 256 iPhone X unlocked, and I was going to pay $600 for it. So the last thing you want to do is spend $600 and then it'd be a fake phone that's not worth shit. So I'm going to give you guys some of the simpler ways, and then we'll get into some more advanced stuff. So one of the ways is the weight. If you start dealing with a lot of phones, you will be able to tell with the weight of it. The iPhone X, when he handed it to me, I've just dealt with so many phones, it was about 33% lighter. That's the first trick. The second trick is I had a guy try to sell me a phone. This was an iPhone 8 Plus, and the color was a little bit off. Once you get familiar with it, there's only so many colors, right? I mean, the iPhones... And when they sell you phones, guys, it's always going to be newer ones. No one's going to try to sell you a fake iPhone 5S, you know. I mean, they might, but they're going to try to sell you the newer phones because, you know, they'd rather get hundreds of dollars from you than, you know, $15. Makes sense? One of the phones that I tried to buy was supposed to be one of the gold ones, the iPhone 8s, the gold ones, but it was more of a pinkish color. So the color was a little bit different. It looked really real. The color was a little bit different. One of the things is these phones have what's called 3D touch. So, and the only fake phones I've ever seen are iPhones. I know there's some, I've seen other people, they have like Note phones, like there was a Note 8 that was fake. The only ones I've ever had were iPhones, and iPhones have what's called 3D touch. Now, so 3D touch, guys, is where you can take your finger and you can press down like this, and a screen will pop up. So this is on the iPhone 6s and newer. So the last few generations, the iPhone X's have it too. You press down on an icon and you hold it a little bit. And then, so you got to do it right. You got to press down with like a little bit of pressure, not a lot of pressure, but not just lightly. It's got to be like you know, kind of like whoop like that. So it has what's called 3D touch. So you press down and a kind of a quick touch menu pops up. It has it on all these. Some of the phones won't have this. The iPhone X that this guy tried to show me, it had the 3D touch, but it felt different. It didn't respond. If you next time you get one of the newer iPhones, just mess around with it. Spend a minute messing around with it. This other iPhone X that was fake, it had 3D touch, but the 3D touch you had to press down harder, and it didn't work all the time. And it wasn't as elegant. Let me show you guys this. Notice how when I press down, see that little, you guys saw that little white screen that popped up in the background? See, it's like it almost looks like you're pressing the button in, and then the 3D touch kicks in. Now watch. See that? Now I got to do it. I got to do it a little faster. I'm trying to show you guys the white screen, boom, and then that's it. The iPhone X actually had that in there a little bit, but it wasn't as smooth as this. It was just a little bit, and then it was there. This, you'll notice when you press down on it, it kind of goes down in the background. The image. The little ring in the background expands, and then boom, it pops. So let's try it here. See, guys, you see that? It expands and then it pops. It expands and then it pops. Oh, I didn't do it fast enough. The iPhone X's 3D touch was a little off. The iPhone X, guys, had a really good camera. I've had some people say the camera's bad. That's one way to check. But this iPhone X, guys, it had an amazing camera. The way that the setting looks. So the way that it's, you know, you see how it's like this? The things that were separating it, it had all this shit, but the things that were separating all these little spaces in between the airplane mode and the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, they were just a little bit smaller. Also, the icons on it didn't look like this. They were kind of more glossy. See how the icons look like this? The icons on the fake phone looked real similar to this, but it was more glossy. It was like 8% more glossy. It looked kind of weird. The final thing, guys, is the SIM card tray did not have a rubber band around it. So let me show you. So I'm going to take the SIM card tray and I'm going to pop it out. And this is real important. You guys see, I'm going to do a zoom up on this because I want you guys to see this. There is a rubber thing around the iPhone. There's a rubber thing around the SIM card tray. It's at the top right here. It's a little rubber thing. It's kind of maybe hard for you to see. It's a little rubber thing, and it keeps the phone from being waterproof. I've never seen a fake phone that had it. The iPhone 7s and above are waterproof. The newer Samsungs are waterproof. It's not showing up real well for me here, guys. But there's a little rubber thing. So, guys, next time you have an iPhone, you have a newer Samsung or an iPhone 7 or newer, look on the SIM card tray. It's this thing right here. There's a little rubber thing. It's right here at the top. It's a little rubber thing, and that's what keeps it waterproof. All the fake phones I had never had it. So that's something to look for and to be aware of. And a lot of times what I do, guys, is I pop the SIM card tray out on any phone I buy, just because if I'm going kind of fast, if it is a fake phone, it's a real quick way for me to tell that it's fake. I've never bought a fake phone. Another little tip is the fake iPhones. Now I want you to notice, I'm trying to make this fucking smooth for you guys. So when you pop the SIM card, you should always have a SIM card popper. You can get these on eBay for probably get 10 of them for $1. The SIM card tray, when you put this pin in the SIM card tray, the SIM card tray will pop out. Listen, hear it, feel it. It popped. You guys hear that? It made a little popping sound. And then you could feel it pop up, pop out. Pushing. See, it pops. All the fake ones, guys, when I did that, the SIM card tray, it slid out. So instead of you sticking the pen in and it made a little, I don't think it actually makes a sound, but you can feel it. You push it in, there's a little pressure. It's almost like there's like a release thing in there that you're pressing on, like a little lever, and then you press it enough and then the SIM card tray just pops out like that, just ever so slightly. All the fake iPhones, guys, never had that. I would have to stick the SIM card tray, this thing, guys, I would have to stick this in like all the way or a fair amount of the way, and the SIM card tray would sometimes, one at a time, it just kind of fell out, and the other time it slid out. And one time the SIM card tray was a little bit, it was longer than the normal one. So that's like a real subtle thing, but it's good to be aware of it. So what I do, guys, is anytime I buy a phone, if it's a newer phone, that's a waterproof one, so I guess that's the S7s were waterproof. So the Samsung S7s and above, the newer LGs, the newer iPhones, iPhone 7s and above, I will always pop the SIM card tray out. And guys, what I'm looking for is that rubber band. As long as it's in there, and you'll get a feel for what the SIM card tray looks like too, which is good. It's I guess I don't know why they don't bother to do that, but it's something to look out for. Let's see, is there anything else? That's really about it. So just be aware of that. I mean, guys, how many phones do I buy a day? I mean, today was kind of like a slow average day. I picked up 4 phones. So if you're getting 100, 120 phones a month, I mean, it could depend on the area. There, what's that? Maybe less than 1% chance, but you don't want to buy a fake phone. I mean, if you buy a fake phone, and they're going to be the newer ones most of the time. So if you buy a newer fake Note 8, or you buy a newer, a new fake iPhone X, and you pay hundreds of dollars for it, you don't want to lose out on that money. So take that tip, guys, run with it. Get one of these SIM card poppers. Get one of these poppers, guys, and every time you get a phone, just stick it in. It's a good thing. I stick it in. I look for the band on the iPhones and on the Samsungs, and that's like a kind of a quick way for me to tell that it's a real phone.